Hi everybody, it's Jared Johnson with DayTraders FX. Pretty happy to be with you today. I wanted to just give us a little wrap up of the week, how things have gone, how it's been, and so on in the week of trading. But I wanted to remind you really quick here to go to the website dtfx.co/target webinar, target-webinar. And this will get you registered. I'm putting on a free webinar next Tuesday, August 7th, Tuesday, August 7th, a free webinar about how to trade with targets. How to trade with targets, how to find ultra high probability targets and trade with. So make sure you go to this website, put in your name, reserve a spot. That will be so important. You got to reserve a spot and get all the login details for the webinar coming up. So it'll be super awesome, and I'm looking forward to having everybody there. It'll be great. And for those of you that have not stopped by daytradersfx.com, the mother website, you can see a little bit of who we are, what we do, how it goes. Come on by. Come on by and check it out. Okay, so thanks, guys. Thanks for giving me a moment to chat about that. Here is what we had this week. We had so much news this week, and then we had kind of the same just sideways markets that summer produces. Yet somehow with all this news, all these summer conditions and so on, we found a way to carve out some decent money. So a couple of trades we looked at and did this week. Number one was we sold the heck out of the Euro Swiss right here. Sold this thing at 11600. And here it is at 115.07. It's never bad to make 100 pips in a sideways market, and we did it. We did it like crazy. We're going to have some good trading opportunities on the Euro Swiss coming up. We're still kind of looking at this overall move, this big head and shoulders pattern, and trading this down big time, but I think it's probably going to come back up a little bit. I think it will probably come back up a little bit before it heads lower. But on that vein of Euro head and shoulders patterns, Euro Swiss has a beautiful head and shoulders pattern. Euro CAD has a beautiful head and shoulders pattern, which is this guy right here. Nice little shoulder, head, shoulder. That's a great little setup, and that gives us, some price projection down into the 144 area. So that makes it awesome. I like this Euro CAD for a possible trade down, but I think this one's going to come back up just a little bit before heading down as well. You can see some of these shorter term time frames here getting a little bit overextended in the immediate term, and they probably need to pull back a little bit before continuing down. And we're already seeing that happen, actually. So we're seeing that pullback. I talked to my group this morning and mentioned that 150.65 is kind of a minimum spot we should see this thing pull back to. So it ran down to 150.28, and it's already halfway back to that 150.65. So anyway, Euro CAD, nice head and shoulders pattern. Euro Swiss, nice head and shoulders pattern. Euro Aussie, pretty excellent head and shoulders pattern. Also something that I think is going to make a nice little pullback for us. So it's trying to make its way down. I don't think it's ready for the big head and shoulders play out yet, but I think it's working its way in that direction. Right now, probably going to see a little bit of pullback. Where do I think it's going to pull back to? 157.00, 157.20. So right in that general area, I'm going to say at least 157.20 is where I think we're going to get this Euro Aussie pulling back to. So you can see it's at 156.59. Is there going to be a trade to 157.20? Probably. But I'm not saying just buy it right now and then it's going to keep going down and you say, oh, you were wrong about that. I'm saying this will probably pull back to that, so we got to find some confirmation and reason to get an entry so we can trade it to the target. Okay, so that's what we're looking at there. Great head and shoulders patterns though on some of these pairs. We've got a couple other head and shoulders patterns as well. We've got a pound CAD with a big old head and shoulders pattern. Look at that guy. Woo! Pound CAD looks good. Looks good. Looks good. Where do we think this is potentially headed? Probably down to about I'm going to say 16500. I'm going to say just 164.50, 16500. Is probably where this pound CAD is headed to. Where are we at? Just about 16900. That's 400 pips. Who wants 400 pips? Can I see by show of hands? Okay, so this is looking great. This has got some big long patterns on it as well. So we need to just be ready for these big trades that are in the works, because what's going to happen is we're going to get these things starting to play out, and we're going to get these big movements starting to happen as summer kind of winds down. I hate even saying that summer winds down, because summer's gone so quickly already anyway, and it's just my favorite time of year. But we're going to get some good plays there. So let's be ready for that. We made some decent money on. We made a couple of bucks on the dollar peso this week. I think dollar peso still has some good possibilities of giving us a breakout and starting to head higher, starting to kind of fill this upper area here. So be ready for that dollar peso to do that. So dollar peso looks good. We made some bucks on it this week. It didn't move that far in our favor, but it did okay. It did okay. Here's one that I talked about in pretty great detail, which is the New Zealand. Oh, look at this thing! Look at this thing just going already. New Zealand CAD. New Zealand CAD might need to drop down to 8,700. Here we are at 8,768. It might need to drop down to 8,700 before it can start back up from there. But guess what? That's okay. We got time. We'll wait for it to happen. We'll let it do its business. Why do we think New Zealand CAD's going to move higher? Because we've got a lot of great pivots, all kinds of missed pivots everywhere. These are really, really important things for a pair like the New Zealand CAD. This thing doesn't like to leave a lot of missed pivots for too terribly long. And so it's already kind of working its way back up there as we speak. Nice little reversal. Look at that puppy. But 8,700 would be a really, really good scale-in place to start really getting long this pair. So I like that a good bit. So basically, we're looking at some of these CAD pairs. Aussie CAD's one of those as well. Aussie CAD's got some, has some really, really good. Aussie CAD has some really, really good long-term potential to it also. We're seeing this thing really kind of bouncing around 90. I mean, our low here was about 95.80. That's about 95. Oh, there we go, about 95.80. And then it pushed down, or then it started to push back up again. We could see one more push into 9,500, but overall, I want to get long Aussie CAD up into these two targets right here. We have a weekly and a monthly pivot just lurking right there, and I want to trade up to those. And so I'm definitely looking for movements and reasons to get long Aussie CAD and make that move happen. So I want a long-term buy position on Aussie CAD. I want a long-term buy position on New Zealand CAD. And then I want to see, I want to see some pullbacks on some of these Euro pairs, Euro Swiss, Euro CAD, Euro Aussie, and then I want to, sell those guys. So I'm looking for probably some medium to longer term Euro weakness, medium to longer term CAD weakness. I think we can get some good CAD weakness in there in the form of Aussie CAD moving higher, New Zealand CAD moving higher. I think we can get some pretty decent New Zealand strength in the form of New Zealand dollar moving up, New Zealand CAD moving up, New Zealand Swiss moving up. And so those are some of the things that I want to see happen, in the coming days and weeks ahead of us. Summer markets are very tantalizing, and they can make it, interesting, but a little bit tricky to trade sometimes. And so remember, as we see these things like the Euro CAD as it approaches 150. Euro CAD hit, did we hit 150? We got pretty close to it, 150.27. Got a lot of missed targets up here. We're hitting big support. What's going to happen in these summer markets? It's probably not going to break through. It's probably just going to pull back. So be ready to kind of trade those pullbacks, right? Be ready to say, okay, here's a nice little imbalance level that I think this Euro CAD might be able to trade back to. Oh, there we go. There's 50 pips we can grab on that thing. And probably a lot more, actually, but at least 50 pips. So summer markets will kind of run you through the ringers a little bit, but if you're patient with it, there's lots of money to be made. We made some money this week. We didn't make gobs of pips, but we definitely came out profitable. And the name of the game is to just be profitable, just make money, and we made some money. Okay, so that's what we've got going on with a lot of the trades this week. And going into next week, we've got some really great setups with some really good movements. Remember, guys, jump in on our webinar. Go to this website right here, dtfx.co/trading target webinar. Excuse me, target webinar, not trading target webinar. Just target webinar. I sent out an email as well. I'll post the links. Space is going to be so limited. This video and email and so on is going out to tens of thousands of people, and I have space for 100 people in the webinar. So you might want to get there ASAP and get your spot saved for that as soon as you can. Okay, guys, that's what we're looking at. That's what we're looking for. I think we've got some great things in the works, and we'll leave it at that. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll have another update for you all next week. Make sure to join us in our free DayTraders FX chat, and just come in and see who we are and see what we're all about. Thanks, everybody. Take care. Have a good weekend.